Okay guys, check this out. Early 80s, Atari is just killing it with the video game sales, and then Nintendo kind of takes over by 1987, 88, 89, and they just start going crazy, and we can see that they dominate the 1990s as well. But Sony Computer Entertainment is starting to put out a lot of cool games around that time, and Electronic Arts in the early 2000s just taking off like crazy. By 2006, Nintendo is going crazy. They've got the Wii out around that time, and then Activision, of course, comes out, and all these other cool publishers too. Today, we're looking at how to build a bar chart race. I'm your host, Sean McKenzie. Thank you for joining me once again on my channel on data engineering. In this episode, we are going back to our Python playlist, and we're going to take a look at how to create a bar chart race. Now, these are those cool animations that you see all over social media, where you've got the bars, and as time goes on, the bars change position on the graph, and they're really captivating, and users tend to really look at them for a long time, and they're really kind of cool. Whether it's car manufacturers over time or population or whatever. And in this episode, we are going to take a look at how to make a bar chart race for publishers of video games. Now, this is a fun one for all of you guys who've been gamers over the years. I know myself, I played Atari back in 1980 and 81, 82 and onwards, and all kinds of other games since then. And it's really kind of neat to see the publishers as time goes on. Now, many thanks to those who compiled this data set. Let's get to it. Interested in more cool topics like these? Make sure to check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Okay guys, pretty fun one today. We are going to use Python here, and I've created this directory. You can see, and I got this VG Sales XLS, or CSV I should say, from Kaggle, and it was originally from, I think, vgcharts.com. It was a scrape of that website, I think, and it's available on Kaggle. You can see it has rank, name, platform, year, genre, publisher, and it's got this global sales column, and we're going to be using that one today to sort of use a total from this sheet. So I wouldn't look too much into the actual facts of this because these have already been distilled, but we can get sort of an idea of how to build the bar chart race, and that's pretty cool. So what I did was I took this data set and I made a cumulative unit sales sort of data set from it, where I just sort of did a running sum of the totals for each of the publishers, each of the studios here. And so you can see it's got all these publishers here: Accolade, Activision, Activision Value, Blizzard is in there as well, and of course Nintendo and a whole bunch of other ones. And what I did was I created the cumulative total using a query in Access. If you want to see how I did that, I will be posting a video on my Patreon of how I did the data work on that using Microsoft Access, and then outputting a CSV, which was a little bit more easy to ingest for our bar chart race tool that we're going to use, or library that we're going to use. And that's what we're going to do today. So first I'll get a new file here in Python. I'm just using idle. You guys can use whatever IDE that you're using at the time. And I just created a file in our cdev BCR game directory here, and we're going to run with that. So here we go. We're going to use pandas today, and then we're going to import bar chart race as BCR. Now you're going to have to do a pip install for that, so it'll be pip install bar-chart-race, I believe it is, and you can go ahead and get that in your installation. Now there's a bunch of warnings. When I ran this before, there was a bunch of warnings that came up due to glyphs and things that are sort of like control characters that weren't recognized by the library, and so I'm going to filter those out today. And so I'm going to use a warnings .filter warnings. We're just going to get those out of there because they actually don't affect our graphic much. And so what we're going to do is filter those guys out. Moving on, of course, we're going to get a data frame, which is sort of like a table in memory for those of you who have not used those before. And what we're going to do is we're going to read our CSV file, which is the one that I showed you in the directory. So we'll do data frame equals pd.read CSV, and then we'll do cumulative unit sales dot CSV, and then we'll set the header equal to 0. So that'll have the titles, the column headers in it. And then from there, it's very easy. We're going to create a pivot. For this particular tool, we're gonna use a pivoted data frame, so that it has multiple one column for every publisher, basically, in our case. And so we're going to do df pivot is equal to df.pivot, and then we'll set the index equal to the year, which is an integer. Columns equal to our publisher, so we want the columns that sort of are animated and move up and down on our screen. We're going to set those equal to the publisher column. And then of course the value is equal to the total units, and that's millions of units sold. And so I'll put a fill NA on here just in case. So if we have any empty cells in our data frame that come in, we're going to fill those with 0. And so from there, I want to make sure that the index column is in fact an integer. So I'm going to do a df underscore pivot, and I'll do the index is equal to df pivot dot index, and then we'll do as type integer for this. And so that's going to make sure that that's an integer. I think we're going to be formatting our output anyway, for it's the little year sort of the label that comes up on the graphic. We want to make sure that that doesn't have a decimal point after it. So I'll go ahead and save that. I'm going to print the df pivot head just to make sure we have some data in here, and it looks like we do, so that's good. From 1980, 1981, 82, 83, etc., etc. So that's looking okay. Looks like we're getting the data that we want to see there, so that's great. And so from there, very, very simple, because all we're going to do essentially is do a single command, which is going to put our bar chart race, instantiate the bar chart race, and then have it ingest our CSV. And so before that starts, I'll give some feedback to our console and just sort of say I'm going to start this video generation, and then we're off to the races. So what we're going to do is we'll say bcr.barChartRace, and that's going to give us all of the options that we have for our bar chart race, and it does it all in one command. So you can have a million little settings here, and I'll use a bunch of them. Some of them I won't put values in, but I'll type them out just so that you can see some of them. But the main ones are your data frame, so that's going to be your pivoted data frame that you see there, df equals df pivot. We'll give our file name, which is going to be the file that is created in the same directory as our Python script here. Orientation will be horizontal, and we'll sort descending. Now that's very important because you may want to have a visual that goes from the least to the most instead of the most to the least and on your screen. And so make sure that you set that one. Ascending I believe is the default, but you can put that in ASC for ascending, and we can do a number of bars is 10, so that's the number of bars from your data set. Now I had a ton of publishes in there. I could have done a 20 bar visual, but I didn't. I did 10 bars instead. We'll fix the order, that's false, and we'll do a fixed max is true. That's going to hold the visual to the right, the maximum width of all of them, so that it's not shifting over time. We've got steps per period. Now that's going to affect how fast or slow the bars are moving on the screen, and so if you want to slow it down, you can increase the number of steps per period. Make sure that you play around with that a little bit. The interpolation, I'm not quite sure about that one. That one's in the list there. Label bars is true, so we're going to put the labels on. We'll make the bar size 0.95 of the size there, and the period label is a dictionary, and we'll set our X location to 0.8, so that's going to make it 80% from the left hand side of the screen, so it's going to be about 80% over, and then the Y is going to put that year label at 0.15 from the bottom, so 15% from the bottom, and then the horizontal alignment will be center, vertical alignment will be center, and that's going to sort of put that period label tag exactly where we want to see it. So you can move that around on your bar chart race. You might want to put it in the top right, or put it in the top left or bottom left. It really depends on what you want to see, and you can adjust the size as well using the as you can see, I've used 24 for, I believe that is the font size. And so our period formatting, that's going to be more like what we're going to put in there. So I'm going to put in year. This is an expression, so I'm going to put in year, and then I put in the X is the actual year column, and I'm going to make that with an expression that'll remove the decimals if there are any there. And so that's very, very handy. There's many ways that you can format that, and the period length I'll put as 1000. Now that one's also going to affect how long the video is, how slow it is. So if you make it, the period length is very short, it's going to be very short. If you make it longer, it'll slow it down, and that's what you want to do there. The figure size, that's going to be a 6 width and 3.5 height, so you can play with those numbers to make your visual the size that you would like. The DPI, that's dots per inch, and we've set it to 144. And our color map, I'm going to use the dark 12 color map. There are several different color maps that you can use, so make sure that you check those out. You could probably Google it. And we'll set our title. Now our title is going to be Top 10 Publishers by Global Sales Over Time. We're talking about millions of units sold, I believe, and that is in the data set, the VG sales data set there, and you can check that out. The bar label size will be 7, and we'll also set our tick label size to 7, and the shared font, we're going to use the Bangers font, so that's going to be a font dictionary, and we'll do our family is Bangers, and we can do a color of 0.1, which I believe is black, and we should be good to go there. So that's going to give us a really good idea of the things that we want to put in our bar chart race here. There's a couple more that I'm not 100% sure on, but I got some examples. Of course, the scale is linear, so that's pretty straightforward. The writer, I wasn't too sure about that, but you can put in none for that, or leave off the argument entirely. The figure I put to none, and there's a bar quarks in here that you can use to do some additional settings. The example that I had was alpha, and that was set to 0.7. And moving on, we'll add the filter column colors, I think it is, and that can affect the colors that are coming up, so you don't have the same ones coming up over and over. I'll put that equal to true for ours, and we'll see how this one looks. And so you can see there's a ton of different arguments you can use for your bar chart race. There's all different kinds of things that you can add to it, and this is kind of a basic one actually from what I understand. And so there we go. We'll save that, and then we'll just run it and see what kind of errors we get. Oh, I broke it already. Oh, that looks like it's a equal sign. It should be a colon there. Okay, let's hit that and hit F5, and there we go. We've got some warnings. Now these are for our set ticks by the looks of it, and but it is not stopping the generation of our video. Some of these, so it looks like the fill NA is deprecated, so I should use a different method for that one. And the ticks, I need to do some work on the ticks in our visual here, but it looks like we're done. There's a lot of different things that you can play around with there. So let's go and take a look. So you should see the file that you mentioned in your script, the file name in the directory that you are using. So I'm going to start that up, and there we go. It's running in our video player here. And just like you saw at the beginning of the video, there's Atari and Nintendo taking over, and it comes out as an MP4 file, which is really great. Maybe you guys can tell me some of your favorite games from this period. There's some really great ones there. I know Call of Duty was a big one for me, but early on it was definitely the Nintendo and Super Mario and all those ones when I was a kid. And even before that, with the TRS-80 from Radio Shack, I was playing Dungeons of Daggerath, which was awesome. But some of those early games, like the Space Invaders and all those ones, were so awesome. What a great time, so many good memories there. Now you can get this data set, like I said, you can download it from Kaggle. I'll also include it with the code on my downloads page like I usually do. Hey guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Would love to see you here. Need more resources for your team? Make sure to check out the additional links in the description.